Hello everyone, how are you? This is Marla, Cuban goddess, book lady. Yes, the leading book lady in the United States. Let's talk education and books. Are you ready? Here's the title down below. Don't make students choose between good academics and politics. Is that a great title? Let's dive in and dig into this title. Okay, what's implicated in this title? We, teachers, this is for you. We cannot afford to give up on good teaching methods now. As we, again, are starting another round of social distancing and lockdowns. This school year has proved to be a very uncertain year, and uncertainty is an understatement. Seriously. The uncertainty of in-person teaching looms over every student's head. Are we going to go back to remote learning? The NWEA did a study. In this recent study, it projects that students will retain only about 70% of their reading progress compared with a normal year. And these are just conservative estimates that don't account for how well these students are taught in school. I want to tell you something. I just bought this book from Ben Shapiro on how to destroy America in 3 simple steps. Okay, it's 3 easy steps. I call it 3 simple steps. And I totally agree so far. I'm in the introduction. And I totally agree that we have a disintegrationist problem. This disintegrationist problem has to do with the way our school systems are teaching currently. In an article that I read on Education Week, they said, don't make black families choose between academics and justice. That title spells out disintegrationist. Okay? And what I agree with Ben Shapiro so far is that I'm a unionist. Okay? I believe in our founding fathers' ideology. I believe that this country was put together by great men and their wives who believed in freedom and liberty and order and equality and strove to make something that is strong for the ages and continues to become stronger with the ages. Well, this disintegrationist attitude is what we're seeing, and in all these writings from Education Week, and they're basically saying that we need to pay attention to the students' emotions, and let's forget about teaching reading, writing, and arithmetics and the basics, and getting these kids to thinking well and forming their own ideas. Let's implant these ideas into their brains so that they become more leftist, so that we can have a new world order, a new world. Anyway, sorry for that. That was my bad. I am horrified at the war on America. Okay, because this is not a war on race. This is a war on destroying America. And that is the real threat in our lives. The kids who go to schools today have to fight this distraction and disengagement in education. It's a real problem in America today, with education telling students how to behave, how to act, how to feel, instead of teaching the 3 R's. And this is what I advocate. Our schools must place real teaching driven by evidence for how to best teach the foundational programs such as reading, writing, and arithmetic, and improve the outcomes of our students' ability to read well. We cannot continue to say, okay, we're going to change this whole curriculum and we're going to give you social justice curriculum. That's BS. I agree. A lot of times when we focus on academics, when we focus on test scores, not academics, because if you're focused on academics, you're going to raise your test scores and you're going to raise your children's ability to read well, write well, and think well, and do math well. Oftentimes, when we focus on test scores and graduation rates, we often target low-hanging fruit, like these rates, than in teaching and learning and retaining student interest in learning. And even if graduation rates go up, it makes no sense whether they graduate or not when we're graduating functionally illiterate kids who can't read well enough to solve problems. That is a problem. If you're graduating kids who are functionally illiterate, then what you're doing is you're graduating kids who can't function in society or able to take part in civic duty and intelligently elect leaders and representatives who are going to represent our interests. And you're going to also be spitting out these students who don't understand that we live in a republic that makes them decide their own way of life, not the people in Washington, not the people in our state governments. We, the people, decide our life. We tell these representatives what we want. And if you're graduating functionally illiterate students who don't understand the Constitution, who don't understand what we have and what we could lose, then what you're doing is you're destroying America in 3 easy steps, like Ben Shapiro said. Now, who the hell cares whether there's trauma and fear and racism and violence? Number one, we are not a racist America. Number two, America is not violent. What you see on TV and what the media is pushing and narrating is not America. Number three, yes, this pandemic has everybody up in arms and worried and uncertain. But again, we cannot be focused on putting trauma-informed approach to schools and in curriculums. We gotta continue to try to teach the basics. If these kids, by the time they're in middle school, if they are not thinking individuals and able to learn on their own, you've ruined them. You've completely ruined them. Okay? It's bullshit when I hear teachers say, I teach kids, not content. That's all bullshit. It's also bullshit when you say, let's focus on relationships. In my mind, I'm thinking, what kind of relationships are you focusing? Are you focusing on the right relationships, like relationships as parents? Because that's where it really is. The parents are the ones in charge of these kids, not you. All you're in charge of is their education and their learning. And that's it. You're in charge of guiding them in the process of learning and teaching them the basics so that they can then turn it around and learn on their own. Okay, I have to disagree with a lot of so-called experts out there that talk about relationship building. Okay, I just spent 5 years with Usborne Books and More and learning what it means to build relationships and what it means to build trust and what it means to brand myself. Okay, so the company Usborne Books and More has their own brand, and that's their brand. But I have my own brand too, and that's me, Marla Benavides. I am an educator. I am a paralegal. I am a book lady. Okay? And so when I'm building relationships with me, and you're getting to know who I am, and you're learning that I am flexible and nice, and I have personality. And I am very helpful, and I have customer service right there in the back of my head. Now, your job as teachers, you're building not just in the classroom with your students, you're building relationships with their parents. That's who you're building relationships with. In the classroom, you are building trust with your students. You're building trust with the parents. Can you deliver on education for these kids? The parents want to know, are you going to teach my kid how to read, write, and do arithmetic? Or are you going to be teaching them some ideology I did not ask you to teach them? That's what you're doing in the classroom. Okay, in your classroom, you need to be solid on the basics. Okay, and teach these kids how to read, write, and do a math well, and gives them foundational stuff, history lessons, and gives them science instruction, and gives them art and art appreciation. And in art, you add music and instruments and MPE and nutrition and health. You know, you're helping the parents support the children. You're helping the parents teach good hygiene, and it has to be in line with what the parents want. Like showing them that they have, in health, washing your hands 20 seconds per day. That is healthy. Combing your hair. By the way, I do not comb my hair today. I hope I look good still. Like, for example, when I'm teaching my son, I am teaching my son how to parse sentences. I am teaching my son the basics of the English language. When you're parsing sentences, we have adjectives and nouns and prepositions, and we have structure and sentences, and we have interrogative sentences and declarative sentences. And what the hell are those? And why do we need to know how to parse a sentence? Well, because when you teach your child how to parse a sentence, like, don't make black families choose between academics and justice, you're saying, what do you mean by don't make black families? What are you making? Why are we choosing between academics and justice? And what does it mean by academics and justice? And when you're teaching them, while unarmed black men and women continue to die at the hands of police, our schools first start by killing their minds. What the hell is that? What is she talking about? Our schools are killing their minds? Huh? Yes, I agree that our schools are killing their minds when they're freaking bringing in trauma and social workers instead of protecting our kids with police people who are there as first responders, not freaking social workers. Who the hell cares whether a social worker is in there? They're not protecting their lives. They're going to indoctrinate them and tell them, oh, you are gay. Yes. Yes, you are. Oh, you're so different. Oh, yes. But you're so loved. By who? Who loves you? Who? Your parents? Your teachers? Society? No. At home, I tell my son, you are who you are because God loves you, number one. Okay? He created you in His own image. Don't try to change that. I am sorry. If you want to be, you cannot biologically be a girl when you're a boy. You cannot biologically be a freaking boy if you're a girl. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry you feel that way. Oh my goodness. But if you want to be that way, yes, science can change you. But you know what? God did not make you that way. No. He had a bigger purpose for you. Yes, He did. He had a bigger purpose. Yes, you're a boy. Love being a boy. Yes, you're a girl. Love being a girl. I love being a girl. I love being attractive. I love being beautiful. Because girls are beautiful and boys are handsome. Yes, yes. Oh, and they're strong too. Girls are not biologically strong. But we can be strong because science can make us strong. Yes. And we are strong. We are strong because we go through labor. Oh my gosh, God gave us the ability to have children. Why do you want to take that away? That's a blessing. It's a blessing. Yes. When I'm at home, I teach my son what I want to teach him. And it's God-centered. So in all this, I teach him literature and history. And I teach him math, facts. And I teach him math, adding, subtracting, multiplication, division, fractions, and percentages. I teach him grammar and how to write well and how to write a sentence well and how to put together a paragraph and how to do keyword outlines. And I meet with my community and I have somebody teach me while encouraging my son. That's the best feeling. You know, if teachers would only encourage my son my children to actually do what I do, this world will be a better world. But teaching is not about teaching them about pain and oppression. No, teach real history. Hello, we have a great country here. Teach them about the founding fathers and how they argued and how they compromised and the Declaration of Independence and how each and every one of our founding fathers was a jack of all trades. For crying out loud, they did surveying and architecture and they were in journalism and they were in writing books and they did just lawyers and politicians and they were influential and they spoke many languages. Oh my God, our founding fathers, they are such great role models. Please do not teach that we are a racist nation because we are not. Please do not teach that black people are fighting for the right to be alive. No. But in effect, Americans are fighting for their rights and civil liberties being taken away from them. Yes, we have a constitution and we consent to these laws. And if you don't want to consent, you can leave. Bye-bye. Yes, just leave. There's so many other countries out there. Don't come here and try to change what works. We've got a constitutional republic. We're not a democracy. We're not a pure democracy or a pure capitalist or a pure socialist country. We are a republic, a constitutional republic with so many levels of government. And we elect our politicians to represent us. Please elect people who are smart and not going to take away your rights and not going to tell you what to do. We tell each other what to do. We have the responsibility for ourselves. We have the responsibility to take risks and make money and go out there and find our way in life, not our government. We're not entitled to government health care and we're not entitled to government paychecks. We're not entitled to this. Please do not teach that. That's not what's required for you as a teacher. Educators must demand that all voices are heard, that freedom of speech remains alive and well in our country. We cannot be silencing each other when we disagree. Yes, we're going to disagree. Everybody in America, all Americans have different ideologies. Yes, and that's the purpose of America, is that you can live your life and practice and preach and do what you want according to your own value. But the big value that unifies us all is the Constitution or the Bible. Let's agree that we have rights in the Constitution that protect us from government overstepping in our lives. And let's agree that there is a biblical work in the Constitution. We are a God-centered nation. And that is great because it means Indians can practice Hinduism. Muslims can practice Islam. Christians could practice Jesus. Jews can practice non-Jesus. I'm sorry. We have rights. And this is wonderful about our country. We got to stand together and we got to fight to keep those rights alive. That is what was given to us so that we remain free. And freedom comes with great responsibility. Another thing we have to fight for. We've got to get rid of Amendment 13. That is the worst amendment ever in the Constitution. It contradicts Article 2, which says that the federal government must apportion the states in taxes. So the federal government cannot tax the people directly. That's a direct contradiction to what the founding fathers wanted. The federal government can tax, but they can tax on sales tax, on tariffs, to fix roads and stuff like that. But they cannot tax the people directly. The people should be taxed directly by the states that they live in, because the states are right there, are close to the people. Okay? They know the people. And we can petition our government within our states when we don't agree with a tax. So we need to get rid of Amendment 13. It really should not be in there. I do not know how to get rid of it. I think it's a hard thing to get rid of right now because we don't have a supermajority, and I do not want a supermajority in the Democrats because they're not going to get rid of it. And they're not going to listen to the people. They're going to do their own thing. Okay? I did not vote for, the left ideology. I'm centered, yes. And I believe in the Constitution. Yes. Ultimately, teachers, your students are going to pay the price for your failure to teach them to read well. Okay? Bottom line is that. So, I have books. Let me show you 5 books that I love and have helped my kid learn to read well. And this last book has helped me shape my foundation in learning of modern politics and law. Ben Shapiro, How to Destroy America in 3 Easy Steps. It is such a great book. I will share with you a few snippets of Ben Shapiro's words. Ben Shapiro combines sophisticated intellect and wide erudition, with the skill of a really gifted wrestler. You'll find all of him in this book. The deep seriousness and ardor in combat, the sly wordplay, and the love of country. Above all, the love of country. How to Destroy America in 3 Easy Steps at its best, which is to say, glorious. Anyways, please go visit my website and buy some books for your kids and help them learn how to read well and do math and write, and especially writing. It's such an important skill. Yes, it is. Anyways, K4699.myubank.com.